Okay, for $50, should you opt for a membrane RGB or save up a little bit more dough for a mechanical keyboard? I'm Real Gion and welcome to the channel. Right off the bat, I really like the font. It looks professional. I dig the like bar across the keyboard. It gives this keyboard that extra bit of flair. There are dedicated media controls on the right side and LED indicator lights is white, so that might ruin some of your setup depending on how picky you are. The layout is standard, but the question is, can you find replacement caps for membrane keyboards? Is there such an aftermarket? This made me curious. I scoured the internet and there's no such luck. At least not yet. It would be pretty cool if people decided to make an aftermarket for it, but money wise it wouldn't make much sense because you have to charge it in a way where you make money with those keycaps. Rambling aside, the keyboard is mainly made of plastic, which is expected, but what is not expected is that this keyboard is quite heavy, so I guess they put a piece of metal across the board to make it feel more premium. This is a membrane keyboard, so I believe most keyboards of this kind is rated for 1, maybe 2 million keystrokes. Whichever the case is, it's much less than the traditional mechanical keyboard, but of course your mileage may vary. There are zones of lights instead of each keys are individually lit, which makes sense because it's pretty much the same way as a Corsair K55. Now that I really think about it, this is a direct comparison to the K55, so more competition benefits us, the consumer. This keyboard uses Co-Star stabilizers. I'm not sure if you should call it that because it's just a metal wire. The plastic pieces that holds the wires are built into the keycaps. This is pretty interesting because on the one hand, does one normally pull out all of the keycaps when cleaning their membrane keyboard? Personally, I don't know because I don't use membrane keyboards long enough after my gaming PC, so comment down below and let me know. The flip-up feet do have rubber on them, so you can rest assured about keeping your keyboard planted at both angles. Besides this, the back is pretty plain. There aren't any fancy designs. On the bright side, you do get a braided cable and silver tip USB, so depending on who you are, you might like this combination or you might not. Normally, this is where I would talk about the software, but from looking at the website, I believe this keyboard is entirely plug and play, which is an interesting move because on the one hand, I sort of get it because, you know, zones of lighting instead of per key lighting, so kind of makes sense. This is also the budget model, although some might think budget might be a little bit of a stretch. But anyways, you do get some of these lighting options, which looks pretty cool. It feels pretty decent to type, I guess, when typing on this kind of keyboard. I would not make any excuses to type on this keyboard, but comparing it to other membrane boards, it's pretty good. I think it feels about the same if you were to put it against the K55 and Devastator. There's a tactile feel, but then again, I'm not that experienced with membrane boards. I'm more of a mechanical keyboard kind of guy. So I would say this doesn't feel bad, but there's nothing to write home about. Anyways, here's what the keyboard sounds like. At $50, I think it's an alright buy. It isn't the best deal because it's membrane. I would prefer mechanical. And for this kind of money, you can score an RGB mechanical keyboard. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. To be honest, I thought this was impossible, but then I look at Amazon and it's definitely possible to find an RGB mechanical keyboard at this price point. Is it any good? I don't know. I haven't reviewed it yet. So if you either really like this brand or for some reason you want a membrane keyboard over something that's mechanical, this might be the keyboard you're looking for. In terms of this versus the K55, I would go with the K55 simply because it's got a bank of macro keys, so you get more for the money. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video but you haven't subscribed yet, click on the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to become part of the mighty notification squad. If you want to support me through Patreon, I'll put a link down below as well. You guys stay awesome now.